we're starting with 2 or 3 people. How do we get from 2 to 3 to 5 to 7 to 11 to potentially 20 people on the marketing team? There is a process in understanding where we are as a business and which phase we're in. So phase 1 is usually where a lot of startups or founder-led businesses find themselves, where there's some sort of a marketing leader, there's a content marketer on staff, or a demand gen specialist, and these people are quite junior, and everything else is usually outsourced to freelancers, for example, for design or development. Maybe there's even an SEO specialist or an agency that we've hired, but the marketing team is quite limited. This is more than enough to get marketing programs off the ground and get proof points in the form of data that we can take back to the CEO or to the board. And it really relies on this person being more of a full stack marketer. And so that has to be the key hire, somebody that can write, somebody that can run campaigns, somebody that can build ad creative or write ad copy, and be able to do some reporting that we can take back and ask for additional budget. As companies grow past that stage, you kind of have a third tier created where you now maybe have a VP of marketing, you have directors for each layer or each functional, sub-functional area of the business, and then you have specialists underneath those people. So under the demand gen person, there might be one paid media specialist and a paid media agency. Under director of content, you might have a content specialist and a product marketing person. You might have SEO split out, especially if you are more of an inbound driven business and an SEO specialist underneath them, maybe even an agency here. And then you have a marketing ops manager, and these 4 people are the people that are reporting to the VP of marketing. I would say the companies that have this type of an org structure are roughly at that 7 to 10 or 5 to 10 million dollar mark, and their marketing team is somewhere in that range where they are making an impact, and they have or directors under the marketing leader, but they're not a fully fleshed out marketing team yet, and there's a lot more growth left to capture. Phase 3 is when there's a lot more roles that can be added underneath the functions that we just listed. So you may have, for example, a corporate marketing team emerge where you have an events manager or PR or comms leader. Under that person, you might have additional roles under each of these people as well. And the revenue targets are likely ramping up for the VP of marketing as well. So your number of MQLs or pipeline that you need to drive for marketing within this organization might be 2x or 3x what it was for an organization that looks like this. Phase 4, and this is where I have drawn a distinction between what a VP of marketing does and what a CMO would do, is there's a lot more purview that the CMO has and a lot more budget that person has access to. You can see there's a dedicated product marketing team, dedicated corporate marketing team. Inbound and outbound demand gen have been split up. Maybe SDRs or BDRs are reporting into the outbound demand gen function. Maybe they're in sales, but oftentimes we see this model as well. And there are multiple agencies involved, somebody that's helping with paid media, somebody that's helping us write content, somebody that's helping us implement or is a Salesforce partner on the marketing ops side, and just simply a lot more people under the leadership of this person. I would say organizations that are at this stage usually are north of 20 to 25 million in revenue. And they're experiencing significant growth. And so there's a need for enough people to be supporting all the different marketing activities that the business needs to work on. And oftentimes these types of companies also have more than one product line. But this approach, the way you've seen, is totally functionalized. It's not split out by product line. And that's because these companies have not reached a level of scale where needing to separate out by product line may not make total sense at this point yet. And so that brings me to phase 5. And this is where this is a simplified org chart just to give an idea. Is there would be maybe 2x the number of people that you see in phase 4 under phase 5. But what you would see is you have regionalized or product line focused teams. So product line 1, product line 2, product line 3, or different geographies like EMEA, APAC, North America, as an example. And there are different sub-functions under there. So in terms of content, product marketing, customer marketing, and sales enablement, that's regionalized or product line focused. And then you have centers of expertise in marketing ops, corporate marketing, and demand gen that help all of those product lines across the board. And we usually see this in businesses that have 5 to 10 plus product lines, where M&A is a key part of the growth strategy. And so there are companies being bought every quarter. There's a ton of complexity. And so you need some sort of a core parent company level marketing team that's handling some of these core functions. But at a product line level, the content looks different for each product line. Maybe language is different. Maybe there's legal distinctions in each of the product lines that require some level of subject matter expertise. And so having this type of a separation is critical there. And here you can see that because there's so much more complexity to manage, the CMO here has to be far more talented than the VP of marketing at this phase 3 or even at the phase 4, because this person is usually managing fewer product lines. And so what I'd say is, depending on where your company is, you're trying to navigate your company through these phases as you grow. And so if you're at phase 2, you're likely have items on your roadmap that get you to phase 3. If you're at phase 3, you likely have items on your hiring roadmap that get you to phase 4, and so on. And so it's important to identify where are you on that journey, and then prioritize roles accordingly, and have the right business cases to be able to prioritize the right roles.